So my name is Susan Givens. I'm the publisher of AutoSuccess. I'm here with Ben Chodor today. He's the CEO of CallRevu. Ben, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Susan, for having me. I'm excited.
So you're a little new to the industry, and we are so excited to hear all about it. How did you come to this industry? How did you land at CallRevu? Tell me about just your history.
So, a little background on me. Started out as a serial entrepreneur, founded a couple businesses, sold them, and then I was part of a roll up in the media space in Apollo, a private equity firm called Apollo, rolled up a bunch of companies, a company called West and Intrado, and they allowed me to be part of the group that did an acquisition from NASDAQ where we bought their streaming business, their PR distribution business, and their IR hosting business. And I got to roll those together and grow it, double it in size. And then when I left that business, and I thought I was just going to sit on some boards and maybe do a little consulting, and maybe for the first time in 28 years of my professional career, like slow down a little bit. But I had an opportunity with Sarin Capital, who owns CallRevu. I was about to sit on one of the boards of one of their company, and we were talking. They asked me if I wanted to operate again, and I just finished operating an organization that had 1,500 plus employees in like 17 countries around the world. And after 7 months of not doing that, I really did miss operating. I am one of those. I don't want to just sit in the corner. I don't want to just give advice. I am all about people and empowering people and customers. What motivates and excites me are technology, people, and customers. And here is an opportunity with CallRevu, a leader in the space from the beginning, was incubated out of a dealership in Maryland because they wanted to help sell more cars in their dealership, and got to look at the organization. Profitable, successful, leading technology, needed a leader come in who can build culture, something that I love, empower, great team, build client intimacy, something I think is really needed, listen to the voice of the customer journey, and can you continue to grow it? And I'm like, okay, so you don't want me to come in and synergize a company. You don't want me to come in and change it. You want me to just basically add fuel, add fire to it, and bring it to what it could be. Yeah, sign me up. It is the perfect thing for me. And I'm finished my 5th month. We just finished 4 best months in the company's history in sales and growing. And I inherited this incredible team. I'm all about the employees in the organization, and they're incredible. And they've taught me a lot. I understand SaaS as well as anyone. I understand technology. I understand sales. I understand motivation. I understand working in the private equity world. The car business is one of these that I bought cars. I understand cars, but I was not in the industry. And I drank from the fire hose the first 2 months, and then started to go to conferences like Digital Dealer, Nomad. In my Autovate, I was in Arizona just a couple of weeks ago, and everyone has welcomed me in. And I've been proactive talking to leaders in the space, and I just cannot wait for 24 because our company is just doing so much innovation. And I know I just rambled on, but you gave me a topic I'm excited about. I love being here. And I was telling my wife this, I feel like I am where I am supposed to be right now.
I love this energy. I love it. Okay, so how is machine learning and AI technology changing how dealers manage calls that come into the dealership?
It's game changing. First of all, call tracking has been around, like I said, like our company is like 13, 14 years. It's been around forever. It used to record a call and then have humans type it. And then 3 or 4 days later, 5 days later, you get this transcript and go, oh, my sales guy didn't do so good selling. We should change this. AI has got it to the thing that nearly instantly we can let the dealership know, managers know, the salesperson know exactly what happened on that call. We can actually summarize it, give sentiment of it, help them close more business, help them learn from the calls, and allow management to get more information. Machine learning has just sped up everything. I think there's 3 keys that machine learning and AI has given us. Speed, right? Where it's there instantly. Accuracy. It is more accurate than any human could be, which is great. And it compiles every single call that we ever have and understands, like, why does this keep on coming up? Why does that keep on coming up? So it becomes more intelligent. The more you feed it, the more intelligent it gets. So every call that goes through our AI, our technology gets smarter, which means that we're able to give dealerships better data so they can make decisions. And at the end of the day, when it comes to the sales side or on the sales side, it's all about, can they sell more cars and can they build better relationships with the customers? We check those two boxes. And on the service side, can they build better relationships and can they give other features? You call for an oil change, but the AI knows that, hey, you haven't rotated your tires in 6 months. Why don't we do that? And so how do we make the operations work perfectly together? And where AI is going in the future is only better. Don't be scared of it if you control it. It doesn't take the place of a human. It just allows us to be smarter and better.
So I think you brought up a really good point as far as like how that technology can help service calls, because service is such a big part of our industry right now, and just having it flow nicely, and I think is a huge part. Do you have any more you want to speak on as far as like the service calls and the impact on that?
We just launched Service Vision Pro, and anyone listening or watching, I would say, hey, check it out. Get a demo of it, because it basically does what our sales vision does for auto sales. It does for the service side. It allows you to understand the customer and the customer journey. And that is what about, listen, if someone calls into your dealership, they want something. So you better come up with a way to respond to them, and respond to them accurately, respond to them swiftly, and build this connection. And then the other thing is, we know if calls go unheard or unanswered. If 20% of the calls are going unanswered in your dealership, those 20%, if it's especially service, they're going to go down the road and get an oil change. They're going to go somewhere else. So how do we make sure those calls get answered? They get answered properly. And if you don't get them live and it goes into the voicemail, how do we alert your manager or alert you like, hey, so-and-so just called and this was the message they left. Get in touch with them fast or they're going to go somewhere else.
For sure. With the emphasis on customer engagement, how does CallRevu's technology help dealerships maximize their marketing ROI and revenue?
A couple of ways. One is, because we take every call coming into the dealership, one is we can tell you where did that call from. So if you think about this, if you're spending X dollars in a newspaper, X dollars online, X dollars, let's say LinkedIn or wherever else you're spending it to reach your audience, we know when that call comes in, hey, 80% of the calls coming into your dealership are coming because it came in from the local newspaper or the local television. So we're tracking all those calls. So you can look back and go, whoa, every dollar I spend here is driving this many calls in. Every dollar I spend here is not. It helps you figure out, where should I spend my marketing money? But also, just because you get a lot of calls in, it's not about the volume of calls, it's the quality of calls. So if you put an ad somewhere and you get a lot of calls, but it doesn't lead to a lot of car sales or a lot of services, then maybe that's not the right way. And if you go somewhere else where it might not drive as many calls, but 80% of those people who call in from there, they're buying a car or looking to buy a car, they want to come in for a test drive, or they want something to do with service, that's where you do. So we help you. We're not your marketing engine, but we allow you to evaluate and create intelligent insights on the data. And that's really what we want to. We want to elevate the data and the information. And that's what we think our AI helps you do. You have smart marketers. You're going to figure out how to market and what you're messaging in. But we're going to be able to take it all in and go, hey, this is what's working and this is what they're saying. That's really valuable. And it might help you down the road go, this is how we're going to market. And we know, because we're getting asked a lot by the DMSs, can they take our call data into the DMSs? Because then they can sit there and go, whoa, we know where we're marketing, we know where the calls are, we know where the revenue. Now, if we take that call data and tie it together, is it going to make us more intelligent?
I love it. It saves time, it saves energy, it makes the dealership run.
Everyone forgets, and I keep on hearing this at conferences. I've heard it from two major dealerships recently, that the two most important things for them, or two of the most important, not the only two, is phone, right? So people dialing into calls, and texts. And so no matter what anyone says, where the industry's going or anything, it all starts either with a call or some kind of text message. So that's so important. If you're not tracking, it's not about using us. You got to track because you're going to learn so much from these calls.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if you don't, then you're losing opportunities.
Yep.
How do the deal saver alerts work in preventing sales loss? And what has the feedback been from dealerships using that feature?
You know what? I was just in Fort Myers last week visiting a bunch of dealers. So one of the things, since I'm new to the industry, I go out with our sales leaders, and I actually this time even our CTO came, and we just went and saw 4 or 5 dealerships right on one road, like crisscrossing the highway, who use our technology. And one of the dealers actually said, the general manager goes, I live for the deal alerts. And we go, what do you mean? And he goes, every single time, no matter where I am, I get a message on my phone that there's this opportunities that's going in. And I pick it up. And sometimes I get nervous because I'm worried that my guys didn't say the right things that got me to call. But sometimes I love what they say. But it allows me to act swiftly. It allows me to reach back out to the customer, close a sale. He basically said I can't live without the deal alerts. And so, as for me, new to industry, you go home and you go, whoa, we keep on thinking it's everyone's doing it on their computer. The deal alerts, wherever I am, I could be playing golf, I could be home with the family, I could anyone, if it can save, or even I'm sitting on my desk inside the dealership and this notification goes, hey, a call just came. This is a great opportunity. That's where dealers, where we're bringing the technology. The next version of this technology down the road a little bit is going to be while the call's going on. Can we whisper in your ear going, he said or she said this, why don't you do this? Right? And it's what's happening in healthcare. And we're going to bring it to automotive. What's happening in healthcare is you go into a doctor's office and he's typing into the EMR, the medical record, as he's talking to you. And he's going, oh, maybe you have this, maybe you have that. AI is listening to that call and saying, hey, doc, do you think maybe it's pneumonia, or maybe it's this, or maybe it's this? Have you checked this out? Just helping them because you're not thinking of everything. If we could do that inside the dealership, because we know from the tone of your voice and what you said, maybe this is what you're looking for, just giving suggestions, how powerful is that for service side and for the sales side? And that's where we're going with the technology.
That's great. Do you have, so that was a really good example in Fort Myers of a success
Yeah.
story or a case study. Do you have any others you can share with us that are using your technology that are impacted significantly?
Look, one of a major dealership, I was on a call with him, and I think we're like 60 or 70 of the rooftops, and he was going into 24. We want to start tracking all calls. Like, we were doing sales for him, we started doing service, but he said, no, we want to track all calls. We want to get sentiment from all calls. I'm not going to read the whole transcript, but I will read the summaries or the key elements of the summaries. And to me, that's like, you can't run your dealership, or one of the elements to run your dealership is knowing the calls and knowing the sentiment of the customers is huge. And dealer reputation is really important. We're not a reputation management company, but your reputation, what are they saying on you out there on social? We can help you get that information before it gets out there and you can react to it. So him saying to me that we can't live without the calls coming in, and our entire leadership team is now digesting the summaries from the call, it's just incredible for me. So it's just like I constantly go into the market because you're going, how do I beat my competitors? Let's compete against them, instead of taking a step back and go, whoa, what are we doing for the dealerships? We're giving them killer data. That's amazing. We don't emphasize how do you look at the data. It's find where the money is, find where the data is, and it's going to tell you everything. How do you engage better? And if we can help you sell more cars and build better customer relations or customer intimacy, that's really what we are. But yet in the marketplace, hey, we're call tracking technology. Guess what? It's a lot more than just tracking each calls. And that's what I'm finding as I go to dealerships. And they all come up with ideas of what things that they want in the technology. But I'll give you another example. One of the things that we're launching, so I'll give you a sneak peek at an NADA. One is we're really double downing on the AI technology. Can we create technology that allows you to help coach the salespeople using AI? So AI bots, let's say, AI avatars, can call into your salespeople and see if your salesperson can sell to a perfect customer that we've created in the technology, just to reinforce, like, what do you have to do to get me to come in for an appointment. So we're looking at our technology. We've always been this listening company. We listen and then we give you information. What is it? We could be an interactive company the whole time doing that circle. That is where we're trying to go as an organization. And again, it's all about how do we become even more sticky? How do we become more of the fabric of your organization? But listen, if we don't help you sell more cars and we don't help you build better customer service and we don't bed you and on your fixed op side help you on the service side, no one needs our technology. So we're constantly innovative.
I love it. So it's almost like you're progressing into helping train these
Yeah.
dealerships, the training
Yep.
company.
Yeah, we're not going to be a training. There's great trainers out there, and that's
Okay.
not.
Oh, yeah.
But practicing, right?
Yeah.
The
Another
trainers come in
tool.
and say, "Yeah, we're tools." It's like you play video games over again because you want to score the highest that you can. We're going to do. Can you practice and practice so you can become the best? But who am I going to practice with? It's like when my kids were little, I can't have a catch with my son 24/7 because I work. So when I got home from school, but he had to have someone else, whether it was his friends or throwing a ball against a wall, just somewhere to practice, right? And
Mhm.
that's what we're trying to say. How do we just help you get better? And it also,
Yeah.
every time you do it, it goes into our data set, into our AI. So it's making our AI and our machine learning even smarter.
I love that. I love that. How does the systems contribute to customer retention and loyalty? And what metrics do you use to measure these outcomes?
All right. So touched on it before. What the systems do is it helps you better engage and better respond to a customer. It also lets you know what your dealership, might not be doing perfectly. If a lot of calls are ending up in voicemail, or let's say, I don't think this is going to happen to most dealers, but let's say your dealership Sunday is at 9 p.m. I'm just making this up. Seem like you get 50 calls. Maybe it's because you're running television commercials. Who knows what the reason is, but no one's there. Does that mean maybe we should have a BDC or an answering service answer calls at those times? Because if it goes to voicemail, there's no instant reaction. When I call somewhere, I want someone to answer, right? And when they answer, it's okay if they say, "Hey, Bob isn't going to be here till Monday, but we're going to set something up. He'll call you at 8 a.m. on Monday. And if it's an emergency, we'll reach out to the general manager and he'll call you right now. If you have that car emergency that you need, that is one of the great parts. Because we can tell you where the missed calls are going. And then we can tell you why you're getting so many calls and they're not turning into either appointments or service, what happened in those calls. So if you respond to customers, good, bad, or whatever information you're going to build better intimacy. Because I don't know about you, but me, I tell me this is what's going to happen. But when you leave voicemails, I'm of the tendency believing no one ever gets my voicemail. No one's ever going to hear my voicemail. And the worst part about this device in the entire world is I demand instant satisfaction. My kids are in their 20s. And when my kids were in college, if my wife texted them and they didn't respond in 10 minutes, she was convinced they were abducted. Not actually. When I was in college, if I didn't call home on a Sunday after not hearing from me for 7 days, they might be upset, but they never thought of that. This device has made it that I want instant gratification, and hopefully we can enable you to at least be alerted that something's happening.
I totally agree with everything you just said. Okay, can you give us an overview of how the real-time data analysis and immediate call alerts enhance a dealership's customer service response?
Because it allows you to do it instantly and you know the information. It's really complex, but it's really that simple. You're calling into the dealership and we're allowing you to know now, because it's not humans taking information. It's our AI, our customer AI, our IP, right? Not going somewhere else, totally secure in our environment. And we're allowing you to make decisions and we're notifying you instantly so you can engage, even notify you instantly while the call is going on, right? That is how you build customer intimacy and customer loyalty. Hopefully we help a little bit. You still have to have a really good team. You have to have good product. You got to deliver at the end, but we're going to help you get the information you need to make decisions and respond.
Just having those tools to help you along the way significantly can help a dealership.
It's tools, and that's what it allows you to do, and you should use all the tools. And people think it's, will I get the same amount of customers if I stop advertising? Probably not, but who knows, right? But if the tools are there, why aren't you using every tool? Because at the end of the day, if you're a dealership that sells, let's say 200 cars a month, if you could sell 10% more or build 10% more loyalty, what does that mean to your dealership or to your practice for the long term? And that's what we're trying to do. No one's going to use our technology all of a sudden sell 75% more cars. Maybe, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. If we can make you that much, a little bit better, 10, 15, 20% more efficient,
Yeah.
then that's what it's all about. I want that. If someone could come to me in my office and say, I can give you something from my sales team that goes out and sells CallRevu that's going to generate 10 or 15% more revenue. Saren, my PE firm, would love me more. I would love my sales organization more, and all my salespeople would make more money. We don't have that magic pill in outbound selling for us. We have a magic technology that dealerships can use that will make them more efficient and should help them sell more cars. And most dealerships who used not just our technology, all the technologies out there for call tracking, call monitoring, and everything goes with it, they end up selling more cars and build better loyalty.
So, lastly, looking ahead at some of the feature enhancements and features that can dealerships really anticipate from AI, the effort to improve customer call engagement?
Yes. I teased like what we're doing with our AI sort of training tool and the whispering technology that's in your ear. Absolutely. Listen, we're in the early innings of this. 2 years ago, no one knew what ChatGPT was, right? And now I don't think there's a person who hasn't put it in to write a better letter, put something into ChatGPT to write a birthday card or a recipe or something, right? They understand what it is. And what's great about AI, unlike a lot of other technologies, you can touch it, feel it, because you can use it and you understand the power of it. But we're in the early innings. It's just going to get so much better, and we're just going to get so much better. And if 23 was a year that everyone started engaging with AI, 24 is going to be the year that people excel in what they do because of AI, and 25. And again, it's not AI doing everything. It's in the hands of people. Can you make the right decisions for it? And the best part about auto is you're never going to replace that sales guy or that service person on the floor with an avatar or a bot. It's just not going to work. So we're just making you, if I can make you a better golfer because of technology, who's not going to sign up for it? If I can make you a better salesperson because you're using it or your dealership sell more, why wouldn't you? And there has to be the ROI. If you're paying X for the technology we have, it better give 5, 10 times that back. That's what it's supposed to do. And that's why we're giving you the data back. And we have a product called Market Vision that basically takes all the data of all of our products in so you can see it in a dashboard, make your own decision and engage. So that's my advice to anyone. If you're not using technology like this, look at it. Again, we'd love you to use CallRevu, but just use any technology, one of the companies out there. And you'll see it's going to make a difference. Don't put your head in the sand and think you don't need it.
Ben, thank you so much for just this candid conversation and just educating our audience on what CallRevu and what you're going to do for our industry. So we are so excited to have you. I'm excited to have a future talk, maybe in a year or two from now, to talk about where we are with AI and where you guys are and go from there.
Thank you, Susan. Have a great holiday.